Good morning guys and welcome back. So today we're going to be installing a cheap cargo rack that I found on Facebook Marketplace on my Jeep JK Unlimited. Now just before we get started, comment below and guess how much I actually paid for this rack off Facebook Marketplace. So if you've been following along with the channel for a while, you know that I always encourage everybody to have a look at second-hand parts before going new. A lot of people buy brand new parts, spend thousands of dollars, and they end up putting them on their vehicles and kind of changing their mind. They might use it once, or they might not use it at all, and they just chuck it up. They just lose all this money. But that's good. It gives us a bargain. We can save a little bit of money and get exactly what we want. So if you guys have been following the videos for a while, you know that I've got the Wrangler rack system on my Jeep JK Unlimited, and it's awesome. But I just wanted something that would offer a little bit more cargo space, either for camping chairs, recovery tracks, and that sort of thing. Now we're not going to run a lot of weight on this thing. We're not going to run a rooftop tent. It's just for extra storage for a few of those bulky items to get out off the back of the Jeep to free up a little bit more cargo space. So I wanted something that was small, lightweight and fit in profile, like one of those Pioneer racks. I wanted something like that. I don't want something that was big and bulky and would stand 10 feet on top of the Jeep that looks out of place. So I was searching through Marketplace and I came across this. The Thule Sweden roof basket. As you can see by the profile, it doesn't stand very high, which one of the things I like, and it's quite small as well. Now this is actually the perfect size for a set of recovery tracks. And if you notice here, these end rails are actually a little bit higher than the centre rails here. So when you're running your stuff, if you don't strip it down properly, it's not going to slide out. Stuff like that, it makes it so much easier to actually roll stuff off when you're putting it on into the centre of the rack as well. Saves your back. So to install these is really straightforward. They come with these square bolts that actually slide into the existing roof racks, then just a bolt on the opposite side on all four corners. And the profile is really nice. So it's a Thule rack. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. As I said before, comment below how much do you think I actually paid for this rack. I'm not sure how much they retail for. I think it's about 800 to 1,000 bucks. That's just a rough ballpark figure. Just what I found online, found on eBay and stuff like that. So comment below what you think I actually paid for this rack. Now it's lightweight, probably weighs 4 to 6 kilos I reckon. Very lightweight. The profile is quite small and not very long, which is awesome. So it actually fits us perfectly on the back section of the Jeep, as I'll show you guys in a second when we go to install it. It's got a few nice rails on it, and like how they're round as well, which makes it so much easier to put stuff up on the rack, and when sliding stuff on and off makes life so much easier instead of having something square that stuff's going to get caught on. Now I'm not an expert on roof cages. This is actually my first one I've bought, so the price I paid for it was an unbelievable deal, I'll tell you guys that. So if I don't like it or it's not exactly what I think it might be, I can always take it off, sell it. I might make a profit on it actually, and buy something else. So I've actually got a trip booked next week, a 3-day trip back in the Cleveland State Forest. I'll bring you guys along for that. This will be a perfect indication on how well this rack fits on the Jeep, how it works, and if it actually suits exactly what I want it for. So I actually really like this rack. For what I paid for it, it's a really good deal. So let's jump on the back of the Jeep, get this thing sorted. It probably takes less than 10 minutes. Super simple guys, so let's jump on the back of the Jeep and get this thing installed. Alright, now that we've got the roof rack on, I just slid it on. So what I've done first is I've gone along and put these little flat washers inside the roof rack in here. So all they do is it's a square kind of nut and slides in, and that way when you put a bolt on it, it binds itself up tight, which is a great idea. So I've got one set up on that side, slide that one in, one set up on that side, slide that one in. And best thing about this is no matter like whether you want it centered or like far to one side, you can just push it back and forward depending on how you want it, and you can always change it up if need be. Some of the ones with like the bigger racks, or the ones where you use like a U-bolt goes around the actual roof rack system, kind of have to sit in one spot. I like how this is a little bit smaller. You can either offset to one side, depending if you've got like a side awning or a shovel, whatever it might be. You might want room for a surfboard on the other side, whatever it might be. So you can actually just push it to the size you want it, and then all I've done is lift it up and slid it underneath, well, on top of, sorry, those little bolts we put in earlier. And all you have to do is do the same on the opposite side, and you're in. Then you can just adjust it to what you want. And the other thing is, it's got these little sliders on here, and these are just 2 Allen keys. So you can either have it like, you can shift where that rack actually sits and shift where the mounting point sits, which is actually a really good idea. So say that's sitting inside, like where the back window sits now, which is pretty good. You can either shift it further out to make it easier to lift gear up on top, or you can shift it further to the front if you want. So it's sort of your preference, and I like how you can change it up and make it different to how you want it and how you want it set up, depending on what you're carrying and what your needs are. So now we can go along and just bolt the rack down. All it is a 13mm nut on that bolt there, which is really simple. Truly have some really simple ideas. So make your life easier, or my life easier, I pre-put all the nuts up here, put in all the little bolts, that way I can just have this slide on the rack to the position I want it, and then we're good to go. Alright, so that's all 4 corners bolted down and ready to go. So really happy with the results of how it looks and how simple it is to actually install. So it's actually quite strong. Like, this just is like a lightweight sort of aluminium. It's nothing overly strong. You probably don't want to put too much weight on this, as we said at the start of the video. But for what I need it for, and maybe your uses as well, this is perfect. Like, that's quite strong. It's bolted down nice and tight. It's not going to go anywhere. Like, that's shaking the entire Jeep, which is pretty good. So really happy with the results of that, guys. Now at the start of the video I asked you guys to vote. I wonder how close you guys actually got. So what do you guys actually reckon I paid for this Chile rack? How much you guys reckon? Paid 50 bucks. 50 bucks off Facebook Marketplace, and I reckon I can easily sell it for probably 80 to 100 bucks. Double my money if I need to sell it and might want to change to something else. Maybe a bigger rack or a pod, don't know. But 50 bucks. 50 bucks is pretty damn good for such a, it's actually in really good condition. It's a well built rack. It's got a good name to it. It's a good branded name. It's just not like a cheap budget one. Well, for 50 bucks I suppose it is, but it's a good, well branded one, and it feels really good. And it's pretty much the perfect size of what I need it for. So 50 bucks. That's why I encourage you guys to have a look secondhand and see what you guys can find. I love buying secondhand stuff, refurbishing stuff, making my own. That way I haven't wasted too much money on something that may not work, and then I've just lost a bunch of money. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. As I said earlier in the video, we've got a trip coming up next week. So if you guys want to see that, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and the like button as well. It's going to help out the channel in a massive way. Tell YouTube you guys like this video and want to see more of this content as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.